All right, guys. We are live with another one, guys. Okay, we are live with another one. You already know what this is, guys. This is OE MMA TV. I'm your host, OE. Like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you already know. You might as well do it. Thank you for supporting independent MMA media, guys. And like I always say, this is your channel, the only channel where the fans come first, not last. I mean, guys, topic of discussion today would have to be the breaking news that Dana White never really delivered. Okay? I was sitting back, okay, on a Tuesday evening waiting, okay, on pins and needles for Dana White to finally get on his Instagram, all right, and give the huge announcement of some breaking news that he was going to let us all know, guys. I mean, I don't know if that came and went. I don't know if that, went with the wind. There were definitely some interviews that Dana White did have, and we will go over these interviews specifically. Okay, he talks about the new Paramount deal. He's talking about boxing and Zuffa. He's talking about everything plus the kitchen sink, guys. Okay. Not only that, guys, but he's also asked about the White House card and seeing how it's coming along. And according to Dana White, he had a lot to express about the future of Paramount and the UFC and that White House card. Okay. Let's go over some things right now. You know what I mean? He's having a nice interview here. I'm gonna let you listen to a little bit of the interview just because I don't want to get copywritten, okay, and kick the hell out of my channel. So here we go, guys. Here's Dana White being asked about the Paramount deal and so on and so forth.
From your seat, you are to roll out this big card and have it on CBS.
I cannot express to you enough how great this Paramount CBS partnership has started. And yes,
I want to pause that there. You know what I mean? The first thing that Dana White actually wanted to express was how great of a kickoff start the new UFC and Paramount deal actually do have. How you doing, Skib? Hopefully you're having a good one, Skib. Blessings to you guys, okay? Like and subscribe if you are new to the channel, guys, okay? Support the community, guys. It's easier than going to your local ATM, honestly, okay? But here we are, guys. I mean, how you doing, BWB? Blessings to you, BWB, okay? Blessings to you, excuse me. But guys, going back with the topic at hand when it comes to Dana White, the first thing he did want to express was the fact that the new Paramount and the UFC deal, the new UFC deal merger has been phenomenal. Okay. And in my opinion, okay, just kicking it off right now, okay, in my opinion, UFC 324, it was a good card, but it was a very, very undeserving title shot. Okay. Very, very undeserving title shot. Honestly, guys. It's unfortunate. Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje went in there and demolished Paddy Pimblett. And we all knew that was going to happen, guys. Okay? In my UFC fight predictions, I did say Justin Gaethje is going to show Paddy Pimblett that there's levels to this game, and that's exactly what happened, guys. And now we're stuck with Justin Gaethje possibly fighting Ilia Topuria, another undeserved title shot. So as 2026 and the UFC and this new merger with Paramount is actually kicking off really well, I have to say I happen to disagree. But let's continue.
So the last two prelims and the first two fights on the main card will be live on CBS. I mean, there's never been a better time to be a combat sports fan than right now.
I want to pause that really fast because you know what? Dana White is right. In my opinion, Dana White is right. Honestly, it's not a better time to be a sports fan, a combat sports fan, that is. I mean, you could watch PFL if you like. You could watch PFL on ESPN. Okay. You could go ahead and watch some, crazy boxing events that traditionally never happened, excuse me, on Netflix. Okay, Netflix has a lot of that. And now with this new merger with Paramount and the UFC, how you doing, man? How are you doing, the King? Long time don't see, man. Blessings to you, man. Welcome back to your channel and welcome back to your chat, man. But honestly, guys, with this new merger with Paramount and the UFC, now the UFC moves to having no more pay-per-views. Now it's a perfect time to be a fan because you're not selling out $80 a month. Plus your subscription to whatever, ESPN or Paramount. So it is a great time to be a combat sports fan. It really is. How you doing, Tuscan? How you doing? Blessings to you guys. Guys, run up these likes and run up these subscriptions. Do me the favor, okay? Support the community. We are making way, okay, on 1,000 subscribers, guys. Okay, we are making way on 1,000 subscribers right now. I believe we're a few away from 900. So I'm hopefully, you know what I mean, we can break that threshold, okay, before the UFC White House card and finally hit 1,000 subscriber, guys. Okay, so support the community. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Hell yes. I quit my deputy sheriff job, so now broke with lots of time. Well, the King, I mean, it is what it is, the King. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know what I mean? Something else will come up. All right, stay on the positive side, okay? Digital says PFL fights are on ESPN. I mean, I'm not sure. Are they on ESPN? I don't even know where PFL fights are still. I mean, are they? I mean, I thought they used to be on PFL. I mean, on ESPN, but I'm not sure anymore, guys. It's been a while. Okay, it's been a while. But let's continue with this interview with Dana White, specifically talking about the White House card, Zuffa, boxing, etc., etc. McGregor still saying he wants on the card. Look, I mean, the King, I think it might be a possibility we might see Conor McGregor actually at the White House card. And that's facts, guys. That's facts. If Conor McGregor can actually stay away from bathroom stalls and catching cases in them, okay, we might just see a Conor McGregor inside the octagon. Tuscan Don says, bro, will my super box work for the Paramount fights? I have no idea. I have no idea. I mean, Paramount subscription is about $12, guys. $12 a month, that's nothing. That's nothing compared to $80 every month, okay? That's facts. Jones wants on the card also. Honestly, if Jon Jones doesn't get on the card, it's a travesty, guys, okay? It's a travesty. Jon Jones definitely deserves to be on the White House card. If you want a guaranteed American win, you bring Jon Jones. How you doing, Sylvia? Sylvia Munez. Sylvia Munez, blesses to you. Okay, hopefully you're having a good day. Hopefully you're having a good one. Okay, like and subscribe, guys. If you are new to the channel, like I always say, the only channel where the fans come first, not last. Welcome to your channel, Sylvia. Tuscan Don says, that's not bad. Hey, I mean, what am I telling you? It's not that bad. $12 is not that bad. Let's continue with this interview.
Coming out of this Paramount CBS deal, you know, boxing, we're going to put on tons of great fights. Like I said, you know, Contender Series, big championship fights, and everything in between. And then, you know, the plans that we have for UFC this year, great fights coming up, and the White House fight, which I am literally.
Well, I wanted to pause that really fast when Dana White just said and spewed out of his mouth that there's great fights ahead of us. You know what I mean? Let's actually look at that, guys, real fast. Because I was talking about this on the last live, and from the way things are looking, guys, we only have one more numbered card, and that's UFC 326. And then after that, there's a bunch of UFC fight nights. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of UFC fight nights here that look fun. The headliners are really, really good. You know, we got Emmett, we got, you know, Murphy, we got Evlov, we got Adesanya, we got Pfeiffer. There's a lot of UFC fight night cards here, but for Dana White to say there's terrific fights up ahead of us, I mean, hopefully, because I'm not that interested in Sean Strickland versus Hernandez. I'm not that interested in that, and that's a UFC fight night. It's just a whole bunch of UFC fight nights until the White House card, and that's facts. Dana obviously snubbed Chandler. Could it be Poirier versus McGregor? Look, Tuscan. I mean, I'm not sure if it's going to be Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier. You know what I mean? It might be Conor McGregor and Jordan Masvidal. To be honest with you, Mustard. Welcome back to your channel. Welcome back to your chat. Mustard, how you been, man? He needs to just swallow his pride, bring back Ngannou. Mustard, I don't think that's going to happen. I honestly don't think that relationship will rekindle anytime soon or in the near future. Okay, and that's facts. All right. The King says Dana Boxing will not pay anyone Mayweather Canelo money. Look, I mean, I don't know. The way Dana White is explaining this whole Zuffa boxing situation, it sounds like the UFC just in boxing. It sounds like they're using the blueprint of the UFC, but just in boxing. And that's hopefully it becomes successful. But if not, I mean, guaranteed the fighters in the beginning are going to be getting paid 12 and 12. Okay, facts, guys. Digital says Paramount having all UFC fights is a dream come true. Can't afford every pay-per-view, although I want to. Hey, Digital, I agree with you. This is the reason why I agree with Dana White when he said that this is a perfect time to be a combat sports fan because of that reason. You know what I mean? You're not shelling out $80 a month, man. It used to be expensive. It used to be cost almost like $4,000 a year to be a UFC fan. And that's a lot of money to shell out. Mustard says Pfeiffer versus Izzy when we could have gotten Izzy versus MVP. That's the fight to really make, to be honest with you. It's unfortunate. And I think MVP is gonna fight. He's gonna fight somebody. I forget when is he gonna fight again? I saw him on a card here, but I'm not sure which card he's on. Let me look through these cards really fast, guys. I mean, there's a bunch of UFC Fight Night cards here that the UFC just put together willy-nilly, to be honest with you. Hold on, he's not on this card either. Wow, what card is he on? Well, I'm not seeing him, man. I know he's on one of these cards, but I'm just... Oh, here it is. They got Michael Venom Page fighting Sam Peterson, guys. Or Sam Patterson, guys. Michael Venom Page is fighting Sam Patterson, guys. Imagine that. The King says Zuffa Boxing has a bad pay structure. I mean, it's obvious they're just they're wanting to take advantage of fighters, and they're going to take advantage of fighters. Your voice sounds like a 12 and 12. Yeah, I mean, look, the King. You really think that the UFC is gonna, well, not the UFC, but you think Zuffa Boxing is gonna pay these boxers, what they deserve? They're gonna pay them pennies compared to what they could be getting paid. You know what I mean? That's the reality. Sam Waterson, no, Sam Patterson. Michael Venom Page is going to fight Sam Patterson at UFC Fight Night London in the United Kingdom. Tuscan says Bo Nickel. Well, I think Bo Nickel might actually be at the White House card. I think we might see Bo Nickel versus Colby Covington, guys. That is the rumor going around right now. And my sources are telling me that Bo Nickel might actually get the shot against my guy. So we shall see. We shall see. I mean, I don't know who's going to be on this White House card. Supposedly Dana White, he's going to continue, having meetings. And this week they're supposedly going to, I guess, put together the White House card. So here, let's continue this interview real fast. Guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel, okay? Support the community. Run up these likes. Run up these subscriptions, man. Mustard says Sam Unrankerson. Look, Mustard. Look, Mustard, I happen to agree with you. That fight is pure trash. Pure trash. Okay? Izzy should have definitely fought Michael Venom Page. It would have been a way better fight than Joe Pfeiffer. Guarantee you that one. Tuscan says at the end of this week, it should be announced. Hopefully it is. Hopefully it is, guys.
We're going into matchmaking right after this interview.
Certainly, I want to get to the White House card in a second. You kick off with UFC 324 on Paramount, and of course, the Justin Gaethje Paddy Pimblett fight. Already have people talking about fight of the year, but when we're talking about that March 7th card, that part of it will simulcast on CBS. you've got a BMF title rematch in that main event 11 years later with Max Holloway, the former featherweight king, defending that BMF title against the greatest finisher and submission artist this sport has seen, and Charles Oliveira, the former lightweight champion. For new fans to the UFC that enjoyed Gaethje versus Pimblett, what can we expect in this BMF title fight?
You know, damn Sam. I'm telling you, Look, what right now, Dana White is trying to, basically pump up UFC 326 as much as he can right now because, in my honest opinion, like I said, guys, there's not another number card after UFC 326. So he has to do his due diligence in making sure that this card right here definitely delivers. Now, guys, Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira, that fight in general is going to deliver. So let's see. Digital says, I keep hearing the White House card is going to be a smaller one, 7 fights or so. I do believe that. I do believe the White House card will be a smaller, non-traditional type of style, type of event. And I am hearing it's about to be like 6 to 7, fights. But we shall see. Mustard says, he was out here beating the dog out of Sherry and Cannonier and outstrips Ian Gary, and not a lot of people do that. MVP deserves way better. He definitely deserves way better. MVP definitely deserves way better. I mean, phenomenal career, phenomenal run in the UFC. To be honest with you, yes, he underperformed in his the Ian Gary fight, but let me tell you something. He was catching Ian Gary. That was a close fight. Tuscan says, "Holy shit!" Outstrikes Ian Gary. Yeah, Mustard. I agree with that. But let's continue. Let's see how Dana White breaks down and promotes this UFC 326, something that he usually never does, because as of lately, he already has 1 foot out, okay, and 1 foot in. All right, I already told you about this. Dana White is basically outside, you know what I mean, across the street, across town. While we on the subject, Ian Gary got underrated as hell striking. I agree. He does have underrated as hell striking, but I mean, he's very elusive. He's a counter striker, you know what I mean? So it's very hard to, counter strike a guy like Ian Gary who uses his length and utilizes it as a weapon very, very well.
Well, I think you teed it up perfectly. You're absolutely right. And if you haven't watched UFC in a long time, or if you haven't watched it ever, what a time to get in. Two of the most explosive, two dogs. When you talk about what the BMF title really means, these are two guys that are, you couldn't have a better BMF fight than these two. So, like you said, so when you were talking about the Gaethje Pimblett fight, so many people, and I'm sure this has happened to you too, told me that they woke up the next day and went back to Paramount Plus and watched it again. And, it reminds me of when I was a young fighter.
I'm not going to lie, guys. Dana White is not lying on that one. I was one of those people that actually, after UFC 324 and Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje actually fought each other, the very next day, guys, okay, it couldn't even been 24 hours. The very next day, the first opportunity I got, I went back and I watched the fight because I really wanted to see, the holes that both of these guys have, and the condition of Justin Gaethje, and what's next for Paddy Pimblett. I really wanted to answer all these questions due to that fight, so I definitely was one of those guys who rewatched that fight.
And you would see something that was as great as that fight, and you couldn't wait to watch it again. I watched Hagler Leonard 100 times, and I was one of the Hagler guys, so I thought Hagler won the fight, but and I had to do it on VHS. But yeah, it's an exciting time for fight fans. The BMF title is incredible. The Jai fight for boxing fans, and the fact that CBS is going to air, 4 of the fights live and free.
That's the best part about this whole situation, guys, is that this whole thing is live and free. This whole thing is free. If you're able to get a subscription with Paramount and pay $12 a month, which is honestly, guys, it's nothing. Okay? It's nothing. I could close my eyes, okay, and you could take the $12 from me and rob me, and I'm most likely not even going to notice. Okay? And that's facts. So that's the best part of this situation, that this whole situation right now with the White House card, with number cards, the Paramount deal for the next 7 years, we don't have to worry about shelling out $80, man. That's huge. That's a huge, huge plus, man. I didn't realize PP had a chin like that. I hear you. I hear you.
I mean, you as a fight fan, to see the evolution of the UFC since you've taken over the helm in the early 2000s, to be at a point in 2026 where in the United States you're removing that pay-per-view paywall and you're able to offer fights like Holloway, Oliveira.
And guys, we have to be very privileged over here in America right now. You know what I mean? I mean, before, there was other countries that got the UFC for free without even without having, to pay pay-per-view. You know what I mean? But now the United States is one of those, places where you can watch the UFC and not have to shell out, that money for pay-per-view. Now, there's other countries such as Canada that still has to shell out $80, okay, or more to watch the pay-per-views if they want to watch UFC fights. So I feel very privileged. Thank you.
Too. I mean, does the fight fan in you sort of say like, "Holy cow, how did we get here where we are right now?"
I believed that this day was coming. I've been talking about this for over 10 years, where when I grew up, we had 5, Channel 8, Channel 13. And I believe that that's going to exist again, but globally.
Dana White thinks there's only going to be like a few channels in the world where you can access it all around the world. And the UFC wants to put themselves and implement themselves as one of those channels. Phenomenal. Phenomenal way of thinking, to be honest with you. Foreseeing the future. The King says, glad all the Paramount advertisers are footing the pay-per-view bill now. Footing the pay-per-view bill now. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm excited about that. I'm excited about that, and I'm enjoying it. Let's continue.
So I always used to dream of the day. I always say, people say, what's the ceiling for your sport, your business? 8 billion. There's 8 billion people in the world. If you do the right fight, the right place, the right time, and everybody can tune in and watch it on the same channel, I believe that the ceiling is massive.
Let's end that there, man. This is really one of the first interviews that I've actually watched Dana White in 2026 actually really look excited. Okay, he really looks like he's on the ball. Okay, he really looks like he's a horse with those things on, and he's focused. All right, he's ready to win the race. All right, this is one of the first interviews that I'm actually looking at Dana White, and I'm like, yo, this is Dana White not checked out. He's answering every question like his own self. I'm happy to see this. I'm happy to see the UFC actually taking the necessary steps to improve, okay? Because they have been improving throughout the years. And now with this new, with this new Paramount deal and the White House card, I wonder how that whole thing is going to look. I wonder how that whole White House card will look visually. I wonder who's really going to be in charge of that, like putting that all together. I know the UFC is in charge of, basically making, the octagon and putting it on the lawn and whatnot. But I wonder who's really in charge of, the security for that event as well. Main event better not be. You really think it's going to be Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje? It might be, guys. It might be. I mean, I won't be mad if we get Ilia Topuria back in June for the White House card. Finally, we could get Ilia Topuria back in the octagon to, fight somebody. Because we all know, Ilia Topuria doesn't want to fight Arman. He's running away from Arman, guys. And that's facts. And that's honest, guys. All right. But we shall see. You know what I mean? We shall see how everything really unfolds. You know what I mean? When the UFC card does come upon us. You know what I mean? I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for the UFC and where it's headed. Yeah, we have a whole bunch of UFC fight nights. I'm just happy we don't have another UFC Apex card, coming soon. You know what I mean? Hold on, do we? Did I say that? Did I say that too soon? No, we don't have another Apex card until, let me see. Most likely until Emmett. But we shall see, guys. We shall see. UFC 326 is upon us. All right. Next card on the lineup, guys, is next week's Sean Strickland versus Anthony Hernandez. I will be going live for that event. I will be giving my UFC fight predictions for that event as well, most likely early next week, most likely maybe Monday or early Sunday. All right, so stay tuned for that. All right, I better put prayer on it. Hopefully they put somebody who's jam action packed. Okay, because if there's only going to be 7 fights, guys, it got to be 7 bangers. Okay, and that's facts, guys. But I can't wait for the White House card. I can't wait to see how the future actually unfolds. I'm excited that the UFC and Paramount actually did their due diligence and taking away that Paramount bullshit. And now we're here, guys. And now we are here. And I have to say, you already know what this is, guys. This is OE MMA TV. I'm your host, OE. Like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you already know. You might as well do it. Thank you for supporting independent MMA media, guys. And like I always say, this is your channel. The only channel where the fans come first, not last. All right. Until next time, guys. God bless America. I can't wait for the White House card. Let's go.